Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, taking out a super fun, super exciting, and very unexpected video for you guys this evening as we're taking a look at Mystic Knights, a Korean exclusive PlayStation 2 survival horror game with online features where you can play up to 4-player multiplayer. And if this game does not sound familiar, I would not be surprised whatsoever. It is a deep cut amongst deep cuts, but the best part is some years ago it was translated by the developer of the new online support. So in 2025, you can play this game from start to finish in English, and the entire server-side component has been reverse engineered so you can hop online and play again today. And if you know me and you know the channel, I love when fans just basically go the extra country mile in this instance to bring you something that is a deep cut hidden gem that you can now play with friends online. I'm sure the amount of work that went into this was absolutely staggering, but it's 100% worth it. Not only is this game an absolute blast to play in single player mode, but getting online is awesome, and the developer's even hosting his own online server till September out of their own pocket, just basically so you can enjoy this game. So run, don't walk, and check this one out. I will leave a link in the description below to the directions on how to get online. Before we get much further involved though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. And the best part is you don't have to have an original PlayStation 2 with a network adapter hooked up to Ethernet to make this work. It's going to work on PCSX too, and there is going to be comprehensive notes on how to get this set up, and honestly it isn't anywhere near as hard as you would expect. But as far as Mystic Knight is concerned, when I say this game is rare and expensive, I 100% mean it. I'll show you the price in a little bit, but if you want a copy of this game, it's probably going to be more expensive than your mortgage payment. And honestly, unless you're going for a full set of PlayStation 2 games, something I definitely wouldn't recommend spending that money on. I'm not saying the game isn't fun, I'm just saying no game, honestly, in my opinion, is worth that much. But because it has been translated by the same dev that reverse engineered the server now in 2025, you're going to be able to enjoy the game from start to finish in English versus Korean. And interestingly enough, this was slated to come over to the West, to America, and be able to be played online as well, but for some strange reason, no reason really given that I can find online, Sony decided basically just to pull the plug on this and leave it as a Korean exclusive. And it's not like there's a ton of Korean exclusive PlayStation 2 games out there, but when there's one as fun as Mystic Knight, you have to check it out. Now I'm definitely going to say you can tell that this has been inspired by something like Silent Hill, along with Resident Evil, and some of the lab features here also kind of feel like Deep Fear on the Sega Saturn. It kind of feels like a best of inspiration hits, but if this isn't just kind of a 50% nurse from Silent Hill, I don't know what it is. But the enemy designs are a ton of fun, the combat is competent, the soundtrack is a vibe, and honestly the game is pretty good. And if you can't tell already, she definitely has a head made out of something and a chest made out of something different. A lot of amalgams of different human body parts in this game. Definitely has some light body horror vibes going on as well. And even though this enemy here just seems to roll around on wheels, not actually moving, and the animation's a little bit strange, honestly it's also incredible, that arched over back with that tongue coming out. Now of course the single player component is going to be single player, but on the multiplayer side, and I will show you some footage of that later on in the video, you're going to be able to get back online and play with friends. And that's something that's just wild. In 2025, a Korean exclusive PlayStation 2 game that basically I'm assuming not many of you know about whatsoever, actually you can go online and play it today. And the developer contacted me on this specifically because they just mentioned they don't really have much social media reach, and they wanted to get more people involved in this online test before the server shut down on September 1st. And if it does show some popularity, it'll be one of those things that it might actually stay up online. Now this is the dev's own footage sent over to me showing a 4-player instance on PCSX2 of this game. So there's going to be multiplayer modes and a ton of different features online, and that is going to be a lot of fun, and I love when games get brought back online. And if you are working on a project, you can always feel free to contact me and tell me about it. I can't promise that every single person that contacts me I'll make a video on your work, but you're not bothering me in any way, shape, or form telling you about this stuff, because I had not heard about this going back online until the dev actually sent me a message on Discord and said, hey, this might be something you're interested in checking out. And honestly, this is the type of work I always love to check out on the channel. Let's jump back over to the single player experience in just a moment here, because that is where the real meat and potatoes of this game is going to be. And again, if you didn't realize this was translated, definitely worth checking out. I'm going to do a soundtrack sample because this game has a really fun atmospheric vibe to the music. I'll be right back with more. I mean, solidly fun and creepy soundtrack, and it's going to get even better from there. But I'm not going to tell you that Mystic Knights is a 10 out of 10 game. It's definitely an 8 out of 10 game, taking a lot of inspiration from other survival horror properties. But honestly, in the later parts of the game, you have to grind out just a little bit more to power up those weapons if you want to survive. So if that's the type of gameplay you're looking for, this is definitely one I can't recommend enough. And again, I feel like it's a game that you probably have never heard of, but if you have played it, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. But this lab with all of these dark corridors and kind of maze-like structure really do feel like almost a PlayStation 1 survival horror game built on PlayStation 2. It's kind of got that same map aesthetic, but you're definitely going to have to find your way around this facility and through the rest of the game. You're going to have to really check every single corner to make sure you get enough health ups and power ups and different weapons along the way, because you are going to need to use this samurai sword a ton to conserve your ammo for some of the stronger enemies. But that really is fun in the context of survival horror. This game doesn't make you feel like you're some sort of hero. You haven't even managed against most of the monsters, but you really have to manage your resources and items effectively if you're going to actually want to be able to beat the game. And finding out that there's probably a survival horror game out there that you've never heard of before is going to be exciting to some people. And again, the amount of translation that would have to go into bringing this from Korean to English is staggering, and that's something that I always love to celebrate on the channel, because even if you could find this game back in 2018 and you could emulate it, it's not like you're really going to be able to understand much of it whatsoever if you didn't speak Korean. And honestly, at least as far as my audience is concerned, I'm not sure I've ever heard anyone mention that they live in Korea. So if you can speak Korean, I'd be curious to hear down below. Now, of course, like any single player game, it's going to have a story, and it is relatively decent as well. I'm really not spoiling anything in this playthrough here. I'm just talking about this epic translation and the fact that it can now go online and that you can play the game from start to finish without spending what is a massive amount. The best looking copy of this game I could find for sale on eBay today is $3,200, and that's why I said this game definitely costs more than a mortgage payment. And while I don't think any game is worth that much, this game definitely wouldn't hit that peak either unless you're going for a full set. Now again, on the actual online component, it is going to be in Korean still, but there is a photo by photo with translations guide on the dev's website, so you can go through every single option menu, and when you actually get it set up correctly, you're not really going to have to test this anymore whatsoever, and that is nice. So again, the link is in the description below. It walks you through every single step, and you should be successful the first time. But again, this is only going to be online until September, so definitely get your gameplay in now. And like I said, maybe the dev will keep the servers up longer if it shows more popularity, but there has to be an audience out there to check it out for that to happen. But I'm going to do another air quote soundtrack sample, but it's going to be the voiceover dialogue from the game, because it's got some classic survival horror cheese except in Korean. So go ahead and listen for 45 seconds, and I'll be right back with a little bit more about the game.
괜찮아요?
네. 네.
제 이름은 브루스 맥켈렌. 브루스라고 합니다. 당신의 이름은?
네. 전 제니퍼예요.
어떻게 된 거예요, 제니퍼? 왜 이런 곳에?
미안해요. 생각이 나질 않아요.
잠시 쉬는 것이 좋을 것 같군요. 시간이 지나면 생각이 날 겁니다.
네. 고마워요. 그런데 여긴 왜 이렇게 어두운 거죠?
글쎄요. 폭발 이후로 내부 전력이 손상된 듯하군요.
I mean, I guess that's good Korean dialogue. I do not know. I do not speak the language. Obviously, they got a little bit of ground hum and static in the recording session and could have used a little music under there, but it is going to be a fun story, and you really are going to want to find out how it ends. But Mystic Knight is just one of those games. It is a deep cut amongst deep cuts. It's one of the most expensive PlayStation 2 games out there, and it is a game we were supposed to get in the US. We never got back in the day, so one person decided to take it upon themselves to make sure you could play it again, and even though I'm sure they got a lot of help along the way, these efforts are absolutely outstanding. And they really do keep games alive, because some years ago, if you wanted to play Mystic Knight, it was just impossible if you weren't Korean. But now you can play through the entirety of the first player experience, you can play through the entirety of the online campaign, all of those different online components from your actual PlayStation 2, from PCSX2, however you want to do it. And that is just legit a massive lift for a game that most people don't know about, but that really does show how dedicated fans are out there to bring you new experiences, and why I always love making videos on these things, just to celebrate the effort. And if you have played through Mystic Knight, I'd be curious to hear what you guys think as well. I remember maybe in 2020 or 2021, I got about halfway through this game on the translation, but of course I ended up getting busy and I never went back to it. My save file is still sitting there on my PlayStation 2, so I think now that I've seen this online, I'm going to finish the game up. But honestly, it might not be a perfect survival horror game, but it is a very good one, and it is one of those deep cuts that probably not many people know about, and I've loved talking about those on the channel. So you can go ahead and click the link down below, grab the translation, grab the online directions for the server, and maybe you'll see Video Game Esoterica Online playing this. But leave me a comment down below and tell me if you do plan on doing it, what time you might be on there, because honestly, I'd love to get a few matches in while this is still a possibility, and maybe you'll get to play against me, and I'm sure you'll probably win as well. But short of that, we are done. Definitely check this one out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.